welcome back to Amateurs Abroad, and this time we're going to talk about why Mussomeli is going to be my blue zone. Your blue zone. Our blue zone.
Blue zone.
And, okay, so you watched the thing on Netflix, right?
Yes.
How to Live to
completely
100.
honest, I might have slept through part of the first one just because I was exhausted. But then I snapped back into it, and I watched all of it.
Okay, well, I think you probably got it all. It just was different areas. It's Netflix Live to 100 Secrets of the Blue Zone. And so I don't necessarily want to live to 100, but I'd like to live.
That's exactly what I was like, because I was talking to people about it at work today, just because I was so fascinated. And I'm like, see, I don't need to live till 100, but I mean, if I could get a few more years in.
I just want to live healthier longer. I don't want to live to 100. Like,
right.
But if I haven't done it by 100, like, I mean, I'm just sitting around then. Like,
but the difference is all of those people, like when I was describing it to others, I'm like, it wasn't like they were 100 and like couldn't move or weren't able to participate in life. They were 100 and still participating.
Yeah. I really hope that they all die in their sleep and not like plowing a field or something, because
I would imagine they're just going to go to bed because they're so tired from all the fun they're having.
Right. I would like that. I would like to live healthy longer, and it doesn't have to be to 100. I'm good. Good past any of the 80s, really.
Right. Any of the 80s, 85. Good.
But our people live long. Like, Grandy was 94, Grandma's 99 right now. Like, they live long.
Yeah.
So we got to get healthy. And why is so
we can't bring the family down.
Yeah. So the one thing that obviously, this is the thing, and I've talked to other people that are buying a Mussomeli, and they've watched the Blue Zone too, and why it is a Blue Zone, because it's about your diet of what you eat, and the Mediterranean diet is basically the one that I should tell the areas. The areas, I'm going to look at this thing. They were in Okinawa, Japan, Icaria, Greece, Sardinia, Italy, Nicoya, Costa Rica, and Loma Linda, California. And so they went to all the places, and then they studied these octogenarians and how they kept going. And so it's a 4-part series, is that right? 4 parts?
Yeah, 4.
Yeah. So the food was a big one. And like, the one comment we had, so the Mediterranean diet, love, not a lot of meat, and mostly like it's plant-based, fruits, vegetables. But they all have, like, legumes seem to be a thing. Like, we don't have those beans and stuff.
Do a legume.
So that's one thing I have to get used to. Like, I eat hummus that's out of chickpea, but other than that, like lentils and things, I don't eat that. I mean, it just was never part of my diet.
When I go to the Mexican food restaurant, I say I don't like beans. Have more
no.
So
I'll eat them then. Like, I'll eat black beans and stuff. No. But, so I think we have to figure that out, because that seemed to be in all the countries that seemed to be pretty popular.
Was a repeated factor.
Yeah.
But even like that one, I think it was I don't remember what. I think it was Loma Linda, where they had the Advent and vegetarian.
Yes.
So like, I can't do that either.
Yeah, and they were plant-based, like more plant-based fruits, vegetables, which, like, how many times have we talked about? There's fruit stands everywhere. There's the Tuesday market. Where's the place we got the potatoes on the corner? Like, a guy in a truck in the corner, and then there's the guy that drives the truck around.
Right, he's my favorite.
At 8 a.m, the fruit and vegetable dude that comes
I don't know what he's saying, but gosh bless him, every day.
Yeah, I know. I'll put my little translation buds in and hear what he's saying.
I really want to know what he's saying.
I'll tell you what it is. But yeah, like, so the diet thing, it's plant-based, it's fruits and vegetables, it's beans. We could totally do all that. Clearly pizza's in there. They just didn't have time to cover it on the show. But I'm sure the pizza's included.
Oh no, it is, because they just say everything's made differently. It's prepared differently. So, like, sourdough bread, like, here in the States, if you're going to be scarfing down bread, that is not the best option for you. But over there, they're showing how, like, they, like, grind stuff themselves. They, what mixed together makes it healthier for you. And I
did see something on how, people with celiac or gluten allergies or resistance or whatever, they do a lot better there. And I saw this thing about how, it's about the flowers processed differently. And
Right.
the reason being is that the flowers process much slower and
Mhm.
over cooler temperatures. And here we just like heat it up, hurry it up,
Just get it
go,
done. Yeah.
and theirs is like, say ours is a 3-hour process, theirs is an 11-hour process. And then
Right.
we put out, 1,000 pounds an hour and they put out 1,000 a day. So it's
Right.
just much, and then the heat point. So I think that we'll be doing really good on that. The other thing that I think I will take on for both of us is that red wine is another factor.
Since I'm not a
And I
drinker.
think if I just substitute Diet Coke for red wine,
Well, there
and
you
it
go.
says that you can have somewhere on here, I printed out, it said red wine could be two a day.
2 a
So
day.
that is
So yours and
double what I
mine, you can have
currently
4
drink.
a day.
That is,
You might be
yeah,
falling
double.
over, but you'll be living longer.
I think I'll be able to blow a .08 at any moment if I drink 2 a day. Because I mean, I'll guess I'll work on my tolerance, but yeah, that's so vegetables,
Wine was
legumes.
prepared differently. They put it in like
Yes.
clay? No, was it clay? They didn't put it in traditional
No.
wood barrels. It was in like
Yeah.
a clay or something in the ground. And then
Yeah.
they used that old fashioned contraption. I couldn't even tell you what it was called.
Well, I did drink when I was there, not as much as I should be apparently, but I did drink when I was there, and I didn't have a headache the next day at all. And yeah, so I will take that on. I will definitely take it
Okay.
on. So
I mean,
vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts. Oh, and the other one that in Okinawa where it had that you eat till you're 80% full.
oh yeah,
So
yeah.
So I think the only way I'm gonna be able to do that is because dinner's so much longer there because it's a lot of socializing and everything.
Right.
That
Well, and they
I'll
don't
let
bring
my
you your
body
food
get full
until you finish
faster.
the first round.
Yeah. So I think I'll feel full,
Mhm.
not necessarily faster, but I'll feel full before I'm done. Like if I have the same plate of food here, I'd eat it all at once, and there, if it's like you said, it's coming out in phases, then I won't
Right.
eat as much. So that 80%, I think that's gonna be hard when I first get there because I'm gonna want to eat everything.
Well, but like you said, it's going to take longer to eat, and it takes your body 20 minutes to even decide it's full. So if
Yeah,
you're scarfing down your food, yeah, you're going to be like full beyond belief when it all
yeah,
catches up to you. But if you're taking that time and having conversations and just enjoying each other, like
right.
they were saying, like so
And
many,
sipping my red wine.
and sipping your wine, then you're going to be full. You know, your body's going to register it better.
Right. I feel myself getting younger already.
I mean, just talking about it. Wouldn't that be nice?
And so there's so many things that we just think about. And we're like, what do you mean we haven't run a mile already? It feels like we talked about it.
I thought about it strongly.
Which does lead to exercise, but exercise in that it's worked into your life. Like here you're
Yeah.
going to a gym, there you're just walking to places, and I
Yeah.
will not be. It was in what was it? Sardinia. Sardinia, is that where one of them went? Yeah, Sardinia, where
Yeah.
they were like goat herders. I'm not gonna be walking those kind
Yeah,
of hills.
we're not hurting goats, but in where was it Singapore? Where was it? Singapore? No, Singapore?
I don't know, Okinawa, that one.
Okinawa, maybe it was. Wherever
Yeah.
it costs $200,000 to have a car.
Oh no, that was Singapore. You're right. Yeah.
There was just so many walking paths, and the public
So many
transportation was
walking paths.
amazing and accessible.
Well,
and
if it costs
affordable.
$200,000 to get a car, I'd be walking everywhere too. Like,
But
come on.
that's so purposeful. Like we don't want
Right.
that to happen. That the guy who was in the car, I'm assuming it's a taxi. I don't know what he was. But when he's
Yeah.
like, what would
He
you
was
be what would
rich.
you do if all those cars were here? He's like, I'm
Yeah.
in traffic. He was so proud of his
He's
joke.
like, what would I do if all the lanes had cars everywhere? But so I don't know about you because you have an Apple Watch and I don't. And but my Apple phone, when I get there after a few days, is like, whoa, your activity levels increased. Hey, you're moving. And then when I get home, it's like, whoa, you're literally changing your activity level. I'm like, stop
You had not
judging me.
moved today. Are you okay? No.
Yeah. So definitely it drops completely, like immediately when I come back
Oh,
to the
for
States.
sure.
But when I'm there, it ramps up, and it's not anything that I'm doing. Maybe the house chores, I notice it because I'm going up and down so many stairs, and that's not fun. But otherwise, I don't really notice it. And then also, a lot of the messages on social media, it's like, how do old people live there with all those stairs? Well, that's how they live there with all the stairs. They've been doing them, and they stay in shape.
Right.
The people in Okinawa, did you see how they're like squatting down and like doing things on the ground? I'm like, okay, they're not
like, I don't
on the
think I
ground
could do
and
that.
like walk back and forth to get up, you know? Like, what?
Yeah, no. I would like fall down to the ground and then like push myself back up. But yeah, they would like make, and when they were like all the ones I was watching when they're like making the tortillas from scratch and like
Yes,
rolling them out, I'm like, I'm not sure I can do that. Like,
well,
I would have
they're doing it,
but my
and
hands would hurt.
standing the whole time. They're standing the whole time, and they're doing all their arm stuff with that like maize, the tortilla stuff they were making.
Yeah.
That wasn't in Okinawa, but yeah. And then so gardening was a thing for good food, and then bending over for the garden and all that stuff. And here, you'll see on TV to buy this thing you can sit on while you're gardening and roll around, so you don't actually have to get down on the ground.
Exactly.
No.
But yeah, that was a big part of it, of being active, was that gardening, enjoying your friends, dancing when you're out eating dinner with them, like just being at peace.
Okay, so I have to drink wine and dance around.
I mean, you'll drink wine first and you'll be dancing, so you got that.
Just dancing on a table, give me extra credit.
I will definitely have my camera ready for
the table.
I will be the silver one filming all of your tomfoolery.
And then Loma Linda did the paddleball, and we have or they did pickleball, or they did pickleball, and we have paddleball.
I mean, it's a paddle.
Yeah, same difference. It's moving with the ball, so so that's why I'm like, Mussomeli's prime. There's old people there already, younger people like myself at 53 is coming in, and we're gonna just, I think that definitely exercise. So we've got food, we've got the exercise it's just incorporated, and then the sense of purpose, that was another big one.
Well, and they had, I found it interesting because that one Loma Linda was the only one who had like a spiritual aspect. Like they had the
faith-based one,
right. So it's interesting that it's not necessarily that it has to be, a religion that you believe in. It's just that, like you said, it's the outlook in life, and you have a purpose, and you have like, either you have something you believe in or a higher power, or you just you're not like, it's another day.
A social network. And and I think the thing with the people going to Mussomeli now, we're all like-minded in the sense of adventure and stuff, but also like-minded in the fact that want to have purpose and give back. Like, if you see Danny from the Good Kitchen that's there, like he works with, he's, his whole thing is about charity and giving back to the community. And I think that other people want to find their way. They want to get there first and figure out what are the needs, because I want to be part of the community and I want to help.
Right.
And it's interesting because I always thought, Grandy, when, they're older, and when Grandy was older and they were like, they wanted to volunteer and do things, and it seemed to be old people were doing it when I was younger, but now I'm like, oh, maybe they weren't that old. Maybe they were in their 50s and wanted to volunteer. And it's just, it was a matter of if you had time, I think. And you only had time when you were much older. And now you have time and you have to fill it with something. And why not fill it with something with purpose, like volunteering? Or, I love to find people to houses and stuff like that. So that's going to be fun for me. I think because you're teaching, you want to your purpose is to deprogram in the summer. But then once you can retire, you're going to have to find a purpose. Like, I'm sure my purpose will change, but you'll have to find your purpose too.
Yeah.
But the sense of community, we'll get that because there are so many expats there, and there's different Facebook groups and stuff that people share, like, when are you coming? Let's go to dinner. So WhatsApp groups, all that stuff. So I think that's what's different with Mussomeli and other small towns. And Mussomeli's not a small town either. I mean, it seems small by the numbers of 11,000, but it was built for 40,000 people.
Yeah.
So it's got the infrastructure, the big hospital, the fire department, the police stations. Like, it's this infrastructure, and everything's there for much bigger. So it seems bigger to me. It doesn't seem like a small like that population, but
Right.
anyway, I mean, it seems like I live in 48,000 town right now, and it doesn't feel a lot different to me.
No,
Does it to
I
you?
mean, other than you've got convenience stores maybe right next door, but other than
Yeah,
that, but like your mall, you drive to the
true.
mall just as far as you would there. But no,
Yeah,
honestly, the
yeah.
difference is you know more people in your neighborhood.
I know more
And
people in Mussomeli than I know here.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Is that what you're
You
saying?
know more
Yeah,
people
yeah.
in
Oh,
Italy
for
than you
sure.
do in the
For
States.
sure. And you saw that in the summer, they're not walking and talking on their phone at all. What they'll do is the car in front of you will stop and say hi to someone on the street. You're like, what are you doing? But it
And
is
nobody
face to face
honks.
communication. It's
Everyone's
not on
like,
the
oh,
phone.
okay.
And I know nobody honks. Everyone,
Nobody.
I mean, after a while, I think, but people are like, oh, I'll sit here for a minute. Well, Giuseppe and Marco were talking, and you're
Right.
like, what's going on? And at first, I was like, is anyone else like, we're stuck? I mean, what are we
Like this
doing?
is
No
happening
one
right now, right?
flinches.
Yeah.
And then also walking to, like, if I walk to the post office or walk to anything else, I usually run into someone and have a chat. So you're
Yeah.
not on the cell phone the same
Right.
way at all. And so that's another sense of community and sense
Yeah.
of connection, I
Well, and then
guess. So
all
that was
the
a big one.
older men who would just join each other on the street corners and chat and
Yeah.
all day long. Like that is filling their heart with
Yeah.
purpose and joy and making them live longer. But
Well,
they're
do you know that there's a word, there's an Italian word for men, like older, I don't know if it's Italian men or older men watching construction, like just watch, like everyone joins and watches people. So if you're a contractor, they're doing anything in the public works or whatever, they're watching. You're being watched all the time. Like it's their
to
YouTube
like
or
make sure they do
their
it right, or for
TikTok.
what purpose?
I think they chime in every once in a while, like, hey, you sure you cut that corner right? But
Right.
it's like their TikTok. They're just watching people do their stuff. And there's a word for it. I have to look it up. But the other thing too on the list of things that they talked about is older and younger people living together. And
Right.
that happens it happens in their homes with different generations, but it also happens socially because, like, I went to dinner with a girl that was 28 and another friend at the same time that was like 48, I think. And being 53, you don't go to dinner with 28-year-olds unless you're related to them. So
Right.
and
Yeah.
or they have to, it's so and our neighbor is in her 70s, and we went to, totally, let's say, so
Yeah.
that's different for us
Well,
too.
and their thought process is different. Older people aren't like, oh, we have to take care of them. It's like we
Right.
get to. We want to spend time with them.
And they don't need as much taking care of because they're moving around fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't have to think of how, because I did not see one walker there. I would see canes, but I didn't see one walker, and we saw one like scooter store guy, but he was driving it, and it had that flat, like he was moving. But otherwise, so it's different.
We saw many people walking several miles from the like getting fruits and vegetables and back to their homes. I'm like, oh, made us feel bad about it.
And they would walk slow, but they'd still do it. And they also didn't have a pull cart
without
thing
a complaint.
Without a complaint, and without a pull cart or a wagon, and I'm not willing to forego a wagon, like a pull thing.
Pull cart.
But they would just have their bags and take one step at a time.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it totally guilts you though. It'll be like, oh shoot, I gotta get up.
I know.
Like here, if I'm gonna run down to the store, I'll just drive. Like, right, but at the same distance, and in Italy, I would not drive. I would just walk.
Right. Yep. Yeah. And we wouldn't think twice about it. We walked to dinner every night. Like when we would go out, we walked there every night.
Yes. But also, I wouldn't think twice, but also, and people listening are in different cities. So like if you're in New York, obviously you're not thinking twice about walking somewhere. But for us, both where we are, we do think twice about it. And also, if you see someone walking on the street, they're either exercising or like their car broke down. So the part of like, if I go to the Circle K and back, people will think like, oh, did she break down somewhere? Or unless she's in an exercise outfit, that's you're not just walking there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and part of the Mussomeli is that we've already made a lot of expat friends, foreigner friends. We've also made local friends, and we have a good, healthy social network there. So that is something that everyone wants and is important, and so we'll keep doing that. And then when I was reading the article that he had written, also it wasn't in the show, but it was saying sleep. And it was saying how the Mediterranean areas have this siesta kind of thing, which Mussomeli does from 1 to 4. And it says that if you take a nap of 30 minutes or less, that's good. If you do it more than 30, that's not good. And I guess if you're in the routine of taking a nap, then you could do 30. Because I think when I take a nap, it's like when I'm exhausted. So it has to be like a mini sleep, not a nap.
Yeah.
And I could totally do that. So I could
I've done a great power nap. Like 20 minutes is amazing. Sometimes if you do like 40, you're kind of out of luck because
you're groggy again, right?
Yeah.
Do you turn your alarm on to wake up from a nap? Like, would you set it for
really, but I'm weird like that. Like I don't use an alarm anyway. Like I'm always I use an alarm, but I'm awake before it goes off. But if I just tell my brain that, hey, I'm gonna wake up. When I used to work at the childcare center, I'd have an hour break, and if I were exhausted because I was working all day, I would go and I'd take a 20-minute nap, and then I'd be good for the rest of the day. But I'd just wake up.
I'll work on that too. So I will take on the wine and the naps.
Although I think we got like I remember when we first got there, we're like, what are we gonna do from 1 to 4? And then we're like, we're gonna nap. After a while, we got into that routine of okay, let's nap.
Well, you
like,
napped, and we also like
had to stay awake for dinner.
Right, we took naps and we did like the chores we needed to around the house and stuff. And you can't go to the grocery store; those are open and stuff. So we go to the grocery store, put them away, prep things for dinner, take a nap, whatever. So we were able to fill that time. That wasn't a problem.
That wasn't hard.
It was only a problem, and you didn't have to experience this, but it was only a problem when I was at a hotel because excuse me. Thank you. At the hotel, you can't cook for yourself, and so. Right. It was more stressful then because you had to forage for food and see what was open. Right. But so that was it. So I think that there we go. We check all the boxes. Mussomeli will be our blue zone. Right. We will live healthier longer. Right. And
it was just in our little house.
So exercise, sleep, sense of purpose, diet. I think we got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find something for beans. I don't know, or just
maybe
it was a texture thing. So I don't know. I'm just gonna have to figure it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
we'll have to explore.
Yeah,
but also, I mean, things tasted weird for us at the beginning there, and then we got used to them, and then even sweets and stuff, you miss them once you were gone. Like you prefer them. So maybe once you start eating so pure, then you're drawn to that.
Right. Well, I enjoyed their chips, which we won't be eating for doing this, but I enjoyed their chips better because which sounds bad, but they're healthier chips. But still, I like them. I miss them.
Yeah, and you didn't have the same grease on your fingers when you're,
That's what I liked about it. It was different. It wasn't that. What I just do,
Yeah. Or, oh God, I already blew it. Might as well have ice cream.
Yeah, we might have had more ice cream than we needed while we were there, but it's really
gelato,
good.
not
gelato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, so I think we can do this. I think that I'm gonna start being. I think my body will regenerate after a few months.
Right.
Be there.
If you we'll shed our skin and get a new.
I hope I shed. I'm still eating everything in sight with the nervousness moving, so I better be shedding a lot of somethings.
Yeah,
I'll have to. Everywhere. Yeah, and I'll pay attention to my Apple phone and see what my iPhone and see what it tells me. Alert! You might die of a heart attack.
What's happening?
Stop moving! You move way too much.
I understand. Cannot compute.
Yeah, baby step. You're overdoing it. So
no, it'll be good. And again, I'm sure we say this is revolutionary for us, but the people in Italy
that's how they live. So. Yeah, that's how they live.
We'll just assimilate.
So Yes, so blue zone. We're gonna be blue
Blue
zoning it
zone.
in Mussomeli, and I don't see why it can't be. So, one more reason to move to Italy and definitely move to Mussomeli because of the hills too. The walking up the hills, that was another one of I think in Sardinia that they were walking hills,
Yeah.
and there are hills. There's just a couple steep ones that I'm not doing, but you're not flat everywhere you're walking, so
Right.
you do without noticing. You do
Heavy
so.
breathing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and don't eat too much before you go up the hill. Remember when I had too much pizza? I had too much pizza. It was tasted so good. I just
You
kept
want to
eating, and
take
I
your
should have
pants
brought
off.
it
I need to
home.
take my pants off right now. Like,
I'm walking home, which was not far. I'm like, Lisa, I don't know. I might have to open my button my pants. Like, I do not know
I'm
what
like,
to do.
I do know. You're keeping your pants on, and we're gonna make it a quarter of a
Like,
mile down the road.
I'm gonna explode. That happened to me one other time when I had sushi, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this tastes so good. I'm just kept eating sushi, and then like the rice started expanding, and I felt like when you see it, I've seen on TV like snakes eat a rat, and you can see like the rat going through their body. I'm like, oh my god! And my body was not expanding the way that a snake does. And I honestly, I laid down and I fell asleep, and I think that it was my body's self defense. Like, okay, we got this. You just have to go to bed, and we will conquer this for you because
conscience, and then we will help you.
not just for us to take over because we cannot use any brain power for anything else. Yeah, I thought I was gonna. That was not good. That was not good. And I'm like, now I know why they don't throw rice for pigeons because they're gonna all explode everywhere.
See, now you feel for them, don't you?
Oh yeah, but that's how I felt that night when I had too much, and I was like, oh, Lisa, we gotta get home.
And
I'm gonna
like,
take out my
I didn't know
pants
what was
now.
gonna happen because you have that I don't care attitude.
Yeah,
I'm like, she's gonna.
I honestly, if we lived any farther, I very well may have. Like, I would have definitely unbuttoned him and unzipped him.
Right.
I hope I would have kept him on, but it would have made you walk a lot faster.
I would have been in front of you instead of behind you, that's for sure.
Nice.
Oh,
well,
Lord.
so on that lovely note, there's so much to look forward to in Italy.
Yep.
All right, so come to Mussomeli, join the Blue Zone. and we're going to take a couple weeks off now for the holidays, and then we'll be back in January. So everyone enjoy your holiday, have a good time, and if you have questions or things you want us to talk about in the new year, put them in the comments. And I'll link the Blue Zone TV show too.
Oh yeah.
Or Netflix. So
yeah.
all right, thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.